cower before the might of the Thorathian conquering fleet. Lock and load me. Let's put down the blockbuster performance. Hello and welcome to DolphinsDive, the strategically minded weekly Sentinels of the Multiverse stream hosted by yours truly, Lewd Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal is not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us. Oh, I almost got this far. Did get this far. You can follow us at Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and Handelabra Games right here on Twitch. You can follow me personally on Twitter at LewdDolphin21, and on YouTube and Twitch, it's just LewdDolphin, no digits. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, and PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always via good old analog, cardboard, and ink. You can get the game and more info at sentinelsdigital.com. I was trying to do it from memory this time, but I failed. I mean, I got the inclusive part, which is the important part, really. Everything else is just business. But I'm not about the business. I'm about, interacting with you guys, the esteemed viewer chat, and all of my loyal Finns. Haha, see, it's the pun on fans and things. So we are continuing on in the Summer of Ultimates, and I think I should probably introduce that each week because I should be a good streamer and do such things for people who are unfamiliar. The Summer of Ultimates is where I try to defeat every villain on Ultimate difficulty, or if their challenge rules have not been released yet, on Advanced difficulty, and I will not fight a villain that I have already defeated. And so there are several villains, such as Spite, that we will not see for a long time, not until we're past the Summer of Ultimates. And before you ask, if this doesn't finish in the summer, I will continue into the fall and become the Fall of Ultimates, and then the Winter of Ultimates, and then the Spring of Ultimates, and then the Summer of Ultimates Part 2, the Electric Boogaloo. But today we are fighting Ultimate Voss, which means that we have the advanced rule on the front, reduce damage dealt by heroes by 1, which is going to make it pretty tough to get past damage resistances. And on the flip side, at the end of the villain turn, the top card of the villain deck is played. So if you can successfully get him flipped, you'll have to suffer through extra card plays, but you lose the damage reduction, which is nice. And his challenge rule, Hostile Takeover. Whenever Grand Warlord Voss flips, the top card of the villain deck is played. So that makes it really scary to flip Voss. You kind of don't want him to flip repeatedly because you'll suffer. And of important note is that he flips at the start of the villain turn, which means that if he flips and plays Forced Deployment, then that will destroy itself immediately and the minions will come into play immediately. So, you have to be very careful with when you flip Voss. So it is still summer. Summer continues until September 20th/21st, at least in the United States. But regardless, I believe this started before summer even began, and that doesn't really mean that it's going to stop at that point. So that's fine. But hello, Hank Roy, JZC, Seamus, and HH2 News, and welcome! So yeah, we're fighting Voss in the Celestial Tribunal, the new environment that was released in Mini-Pack 4. Oh, and before I forget, I want to make sure I mention this up front and towards the end, but 2 weeks from now, not this week, not next week, but 2 weeks from now, I will be off because I'll be visiting friends. So, out of state. I mean, I'm gonna be visiting friends instead of you guys because you're not my friends. I just made a friend and I decided I would hang out with them on a Friday night. No, I'm going out of state to visit friends, so I'll be off 2 weeks from now. So I am sorry, but you're gonna have to watch a rerun of DolphinsDive to tide yourself over. All right, so we have Variant Stuntman, whose base power until the start of your next turn increase damage dealt by Stuntman by 1. You may play a card. And he's starting with Dramatic Cliffhanger, Lance Flammies, Moving Target, and Pistolet Mitrailleux. And if you haven't noticed, I don't know how to pronounce French words, so Hank Royd's going to be very upset with me, as well as any other French person watching me right now. Wraith is starting with Smoke Bombs, Suture Self, Throat Jab, and Utility Belt, so no weapons for her. And Supply and Demand Benchmark, whose base power benchmark regains 1 HP, play the top card of your deck. He has Deployment Actuation, Flash Installation Drive, Flyby, and upgraded memory units. So, unlike a past game I had with Benchmark, he's starting with a lot of hardware, which is nice. And then Skyscraper Extremist has Catch a Ride, Linking Incursion, Neutralizing Resonator, and Rest and Recover. I could just stream from your house while Hank Parade pronounce the words as they need to be pronounced. Alright, let's see what's going on here. We have a Gene-Bound Soldier for some projectile damage, a Gene-Bound Shock Infantry for some lightning damage, a Gene-Bound Fire Swarm for some fire damage, and a Gene-Bound Psyweaver for some AoE psychic damage. And then another Gene-Bound Soldier. So other than the Psyweaver, we're getting the nice minions. The ones that target the highest HP hero are the best minions because the other ones suck. The ones that hit the lowest HP ones, in-cap heroes. The ones that hit all the heroes, and then there's a Gene-Bound Guard who reduces damage, which is awful. And I guess it goes without saying that damage dealt to Voss is reduced by 2 for each minion in play. And there are 5 minions in play, and his advanced rule is reducing damage, so any damage you try to deal to Voss is currently being reduced by 11. So, unlike some games where it's like, I don't want to really target the minions when I could just target the main villain, against Voss, you really do have to target the minions if you want to be able to damage Voss. Unless you have a hero who can do irreducible damage, but I intentionally did not use base Stuntman for that reason. Alright. So, this power is actually really nice. Stuntman deals up to 4 targets 2 fire damage each, but when this power is used outside your turn and reduces a target to 2 or fewer HP, destroy that target. Which means that we can actually get rid of a lot of these minions really easily. The combination of Dramatic Cliffhanger and Dramatic Cliffhanger and Lance Flammies will take care of 4 of the minions. Extremist Skyscraper does have irreducible. Wait, come on. Oh right, yeah, the toxic thing. Deals 1 target X irreducible toxic damage. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying I'm not picking irreducible heroes. I just said I intentionally did not pick base Stuntman. I wanted Stuntman and Benchmark, alright? But yeah, so Lance Flammy's Dramatic Cliffhanger, or possibly even just moving target, even if I get hit. But I think I'm just gonna do that. Now the thing about Voss is, especially against advanced Voss, and I learned this the hard way, but you don't really want to flip Voss until you are ready, like you're fully set up and you're ready to deal an onslaught of damage. Not necessarily to kill him ASAP, but to deal with whatever ships come out. Because there was one time that I was playing advanced Voss and I flipped him round 1, and then he played like 2 ships and I didn't have the damage to take them out, and we just had too much damage going around. And especially with his extra card plays, he's more likely to get out his ships, or First Lieutenant Victor, or 1 or more whatchamacallits, force deployments. I only have 1/3 of a hero dealing irreducible damage. Also, I guess we do have 2 tinies here, yeah, so we could make her do tinies. Not a full hero. Oh man. Someone's going to be upset at this allegation that Skyscraper is not a full hero. Alright. Well, Wraith is lacking in offense. Could throat jab something, but that seems a bit of a waste. I could do smoke bombs just for general defense, or I could do utility belt and hope to get a different power next turn. But I think I'm just gonna opt for smoke bombs. Because if I have defense, I might as well just roll with it. Reduce the next damage dealt to Wraith by 2, and redirect damage from a villain target to the lowest HP hero to a higher HP hero for 1 less point of damage. Alrighty, and then we have this guy. Flash installation drive that could put software from the trash into play. Upgraded memory unit that can increase HP recovery, which does synergize with the base power. At the end of your turn, if you have 5 or fewer cards, draw a card. If you don't draw a card, play a software card. Or I could just play deployment actuation and hope to get a free hardware card. And some of these are exciting. But I think I'm just gonna opt for upgraded memory unit since there's immediate use. Benchmark does have something that doesn't deal irreducible damage directly, but does set up for that. The next damage dealt to that selected target, the next damage dealt to that target is irreducible and increased by 2. And that would be nice to have, but we can't dig for it unlike hardwares unless we discard it, and then we could just bring it back. We get the multi-point HUD. And because we had 5 or fewer cards, we drew a card. So this power increased damage dealt by benchmark this turn by 1. Which I've always found interesting, because it makes sense within his deck, but it's kind of amusing because you can't use this power by itself. Most powers that are phrased like this tend to say things like increase damage until the start of your next turn or until the end of your next turn. This one just says this turn, because you actually have to activate it at a key time, which he can easily do. All right. Well, Neutralizing Resonator is a bit weird, because the only villain ongoing card is Forced Deployment, and if that destroys itself on Skyscraper's turn, it's not too nice. Unless we happened to get her huge, and then we destroyed a non-target to deal each target 2 sonic damage, and hopefully with a boost we could take out minions that way. So I guess it's not awful. I could go tiny, but I kind of want to stay normal, because playing the bottom card of her deck, although doing so would mean either I skip my play phase or the powers just play the bottom card of the deck. I could also catch a ride and take out the Gene Bounce Firesworn and just flip Voss immediately. Whee! Let's do that. Let's flip Voss. And because, let's see, the Firesworn is the only one that Stuntman cannot take out. So we'll have Stuntman do this because he's doing increased damage, and then we'll hit the Firesworn. And since I don't have any links in play, this is only 1 damage. But we have hit Grand Warlord Voss! Probably should have played a Linking Incursion, but oh well. Bound Wanting. Alright, so we have our first trial. Play this card next to a villain target. Not next to a trial. If there are no valid targets, discard this card. So of course we're doing this on Voss, because now he's on trial. And we will go ahead and get on this. So let's see, draw a card, use a power, play a card in any order. We got Stylish Armor, and I do have to play something, right? So probably just getting damage reduction out in preparation for the onslaught. How much you want to bet that the first card play is Forced Deployment? So now we really hope that we're not going to accidentally flip him back, because then he'll play another card. But let's see, we got First Lieutenant Victor. Increased damage dealt to hero targets by 1. A Forced Deployment! So actually, if I had played the Neutralizing Resonator, we would have discarded Victor and then revealed Forced Deployment. And we have the TCF Conqueror. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 3 fire damage. At the start of the villain turn, destroy 1 hero ongoing card. And we have smoke bombs in play. And it's getting increased by 1. Smoke bombs reduce it, and then Wraith reduces it by 2 if it redirects to her. So I think like the best order would probably be this. Yes, and then target Wraith. Now she's the lowest. target skyscraper or someone. I don't know. Say yes. Redirect. Target Stuntman. Redirect it to the Wraith. Wraith kind of gets hit twice in this, but we've successfully reduced all of the damages by 1 because of smoke bombs. See, that was a smart play. Alright, so actually with smoke bombs, moving target could have utility. Whenever damage will be dealt by a villain target to Stuntman, but is prevented, redirected, or reduced, so Stuntman takes no damage. You may use a power. When Stuntman is dealt damage by a villain target, destroy this card and use a power. So, unfortunately, currently he is not at that point, and to get to that point, he would have to be hit a little bit more. But we can keep that in mind, that this synergy with smoke bombs can come in handy here. So obviously we want to take out the Conqueror if possible. First Lieutenant Vector is just sitting there. Forced deployment, obviously bad. But I don't think, unless we go huge, but we're not actually, we're not actually set up for this at all. Because we can't destroy it. Forced deployment is scary, but there's only 5 minions, and 4 of them are okay minions, so it's not too bad. I could even put out Lembuscade and use that to destroy minions. Actually, if I put out Lembuscade, I could then destroy it when the 4th minion enters play, and then I could use Lance Flammies to take out 4 of the minions. And then I don't have to worry about them. Yeah. We're gonna do that. And I don't need the damage boost to do that. But could I just put up... The problem is that I'm running out of card plays. In fact, I also want to hit the ship, so I'm just gonna use a power, this power, to target all of the things. And I don't need to hit anyone else. Has Handelabra given an update on Void Guard? I don't believe they have. And I am not at liberty to discuss anything of that sort. Okay. I have a stun bolt now. I could use the stun bolt to reduce the damage dealt by TCF Conqueror, and that would reduce it by 1 4 times. He's also going to destroy an ongoing card. But actually that's okay, because Forced Deployment destroys itself, and then we could just destroy Lembuscade with TCF Conqueror. And then it does literally the same thing. That's funny. Throat Jab, but I can't hit the TCF Conqueror, and Voss is only doing 3 and 2 damage. He's only doing 3 or 2. I'm gonna use Stun Bolt to help mitigate this damage. In fact, if we smoke bombs from Wraith to Stuntman, that'll be reduced to 0. But, or not necessarily from Wraith, but from anyone to Stuntman. It'll be reduced to 0, so that would have been great for moving target. Unfortunately, that doesn't time well enough at all. Alright. Flash installation drive, discard the top card, put a software from the trash. We don't have software in the trash. LA Matrix. Draw a card and use a power. I could put out moving target if I have Stuntman use his power. In fact, it's very likely that's going to happen. Or, I'm thinking out loud. It's very likely that... Let me back up a step. Voss is going to hit... Oh, shoot. First Lieutenant Victor's out. Well, we can destroy him easily. I'm thinking, so if Voss tries to hit Stuntman, it doesn't matter. Well, because he would have to be redirected from smoke bombs. So currently he's hitting benchmark for 4, taking him down to 19. And then the next hit hits the lowest, which is benchmark for 3. Smoke bombs redirects it to Stuntman for 2, and then Stylish Armor reduces it by 1, and then he would be hit. So I don't. So unless we can take out First Lieutenant Victor for sure, which I mean there are ways of doing that. But I mean, yeah, so if TCF Conqueror destroys an ongoing card and we choose Lambuscade, so we could use the power to do Lance Flammies, which destroys First Lieutenant Victor, but then we still have 3 other minions. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. Oh yeah, benchmark heals for 2, that's right. Or no, he doesn't have that hardware yet. This one just increases HP recovery. If I were to use Ally Matrix, we wouldn't be using this power. I mean, I'm not really too concerned about things and just kind of min-maxing, which is not necessarily a good plan. I mean, min-maxing is great, except it slows down games tremendously. My priority number 1 is the TCF Conqueror, so that's what I really should be thinking about, because we do have 4 of the minions taken care of right now. And trying to do hijinks with moving target isn't necessarily ideal. So I'm just gonna deployment actuation and see what hardware I get. I think we get the reinforced chassis, and this card goes into hand, and there will be a hardware or a software in the trash that can enter play by flash installation drive, but we don't necessarily have the means of getting that out yet. Whenever the hero with the lowest HP would be dealt damage, and we redirect that damage to benchmark. That's like another smoke bombs, except not reduced by 1. I can't play this one. We'll just put this in hand. And then let's use base power. Ally Matrix anyway. And Microfabricator. Oh, excellent. And then I could play a software, but I have 2 in play, 2 hardware in play. So at the start of my turn, multi-point HUD would be destroyed. Or, well, so here's the thing about software cards. They all have the clause, if you have more software than hardware in play, draw a card and destroy 2 software cards. But this doesn't mean that you will destroy 2 necessarily. It either means destroy this one, in which case it's done because the text is no longer in play and you don't have to destroy a second one, or you destroy 2 other ones, which isn't necessarily ideal. In fact, I mean, there are certainly situations where you would probably want to keep this one versus 2 others, but in this kind of situation, when it comes to keeping multi-point HUD versus Ally Matrix and whatever this one is, I'd probably want to keep multi-point HUD. That said, there is some merit in having software cards getting destroyed because their destruction at the start of his turn involves drawing a card, so you can get more cards in hand. I don't think I'm going to do that, though, even though intervening path calculator could be exciting. Actually, we could put out a software just for TCF Conqueror to destroy, but we already have a plan for that, so we're fine. Alright. We could go tiny again. And if I linking incursion, we could possibly get links to put on the TCF Conqueror, and then I could use base power on TCF Conqueror. So let's try that. We get the compulsion canister and the micro assembler, which we haven't used Stuntman's base power, so no hero has a damage boost. So if we want to do extra damage to the TCF Conqueror, we should put this on the TCF Conqueror. And I'll hit Victor. And I'll put this in play. Discard a card, then search your deck for an equipment card and put it either into your hand or into play. This is an amazing power, and all 4 of these heroes would love it. So who wants it most? I think Wraith does. Because if we can get the infrared eyepiece out earlier, then we can help mitigate his card plays. It's not as effective because he is playing 2 cards, but we could control one of the card plays and maybe like keep forced deployments away. Benchmark would love to have this because he can get all of his hardwares over the course of time, and Stuntman could get any sorts of equipment, and Skyscraper has lots of equipments. But Seamus says Wraith needs it the most, and I do agree, even without the infrared eyepiece considerations, because she is hurting. Yes, and with the utility belt also, we can have her put any equipment out and then use it immediately, indeed. In fact, I've done this in the past where I have Micro Assembler give me the utility belt so that I could also use another power on the turn, which is funny. Alright, so then we shall go and hit the Conqueror. And choice between destroying Compulsion Canister or Micro Assembler. TCF Conqueror is not going to last for much longer, hopefully, so I don't need the Compulsion Canister on him, but with Undetectable Relinking, I can bring it back to my hand, whereas if it's in my trash, I would need to rest and recover it back, or go normal and move a link from the trash to my hand. I think I'm going to leave it in play, because we have lots of means of getting tiny, so I could just switch back. Celestial Executioner. So at the start of the environment turn, this card deals each target next to a trial 3 energy damage, which also includes Grand Warlord Voss, because he's on trial. Fun fact. So that is currently a purely beneficial environment card, but that can quickly change, especially if we have a hero character card in play. Proportionist with Extremist Skyscraper is amazing because she switches sizes very often. She can switch it accidentally with her normal power, she can switch it intentionally with her tiny power, she could switch it somewhat forcibly with her huge power, but also sort of controllably. So yeah, she switches sizes way more frequently than her normal variant, and so it would be worth having. Alright, so each time this minion comes out, I'm going to be asked if I want to destroy Lembuscade, and I'm going to say no because I want the Conqueror to destroy it. Yep, so Lembuscade. So I can use a power. Lance Flammies. And take out the non-fire minions. And this is where Stuntman is amazing, because he can do things whenever he wants to. No, you cannot play your minions. I must first use my powers. Oh hey, the TCF Stalwart is out. Remember when I said when we flip Voss immediately, he plays both ships pretty quickly? Because that seems to have happened. It doesn't matter because Smoke Bombs is redirecting it. Actually, I think I'm gonna hit Stuntman so that he could possibly be lower. Only when it's dramatically appropriate. Same thing. Alright, Smoke Bombs here. Yes. And this will be reduced to 0. No, it won't because of Victor, but that's okay. Smoke Bombs here. Yes. Doesn't really matter. I think we've once again successfully pulled it off that Smoke Bombs triggers 4 times, which is ideal. And this is a situation where order of operations matters tremendously. Stuntman is the lowest. We're gonna send it over to Benchmark, who is tied for lowest. Now Benchmark is lowest. Unfortunately, I think this is not gonna work so well. Although I guess the Stalwart, oh no, the Stalwart doesn't do damage until the start, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll just throw this on Stuntman, because we want to try for Stuntman to be low, but I think that's not gonna work still. Or no, oh no, the Shock Infantry, yeah, it's not gonna work. It isn't. Well, I guess this means Sky takes more damage, and now she's lowest. And now we have 2 ships, and 3 minions, and a First Lieutenant Victor. And we need to find a way to deal with these. Let's see, this does each non-hero target 1 projectile damage. This does 2 damage. If used outside of your turn, reduces the target to 2 or fewer, destroy that target. Unfortunately, unless I can destroy, like, moving target, or no, I can't just have this card be destroyed. It actually needs to be done when Stuntman is dealt damage or prevented or whatnot. Because I currently don't have a oh no, we do. We have Ally Matrix. Okay, never mind. So Ally Matrix, discard a card. If you do, one other player may draw a card and use a power. And then we can have Stuntman use Lance Flammies to use this power out of turn. And then we could take out Victor, Firesworn. Or not necessarily Victor, because Victor can die easily. But Shock Infantry and Firesworn. Or no, we can't take out the Firesworn, because it's fire damage. Sky can't go huge still for some reason. Well, I guess we can fly by. But the problem is this only does 2 damage. But if we put out throwing knives, then we can use throwing knives to hit the Firesworns, take them down to 1, flyby, or no, take them down to 2, and then flyby takes them out. And then there's still a point of damage that we need to do somewhere. Or, well, throwing knives can take out Victor. Conqueror, however, I don't know of a good way of getting rid of the Conqueror. I could also just use Pistolet Mitrailleur, and that would do the 2 damage, or the 1 damage, so I don't need throwing knives. Ugh. Decisions. Because I don't know, like, I want Stuntman to be lowest so that smoke bombs, like, smoke bomb shenanigans on Voss's turn. I think I'm gonna just put out Pistolet Mitrailleur and use Pistolet Mitrailleur, and then figure out at that point on Wraith's turn what I'm gonna do next. Those ships, though. Start of your turn, other than yours. You may destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, Stuntman deals 1 target 2 projectile damage, then you may use a power. That's interesting. We can put that into play with Pistolet Mitrailleur for another round of 1 damage. And then, so like, Benchmark will have him do that on his turn, and then at the start of Sky's turn, then Stuntman destroys Steal the Scene, deals 2 projectile damage, and then uses Lance Flammies, and then could still take out minions, but possibly more. Alright, well, Utility Belt is what we want here. And then discard a card. And Inventory Barrage is an amazing card, but I'm gonna get rid of that because that's an endgame card. And we're not close to the endgame. So now the question is, I wanted infrared eyepiece, but I think we're gonna hold off on that because the ships are a higher priority and we need to choose between Razor Ordnance and Throwing Knives. Or I could put out Razor Ordnance and do more damage with Stun Bolt. But that's basically a Razor Ordnance. So I think, though, that if I do Pistolet on Stuntman's turn for 1 damage, and play Steal the Scene and destroys this, his Lance Flammies does 2 damage. So that means that the TCF Conqueror can be down to 4. So for Lance Flammies to actually destroy it, it needs to be at 2 or fewer. So we need to do 2 extra points of damage, which Steal the Scene already does. So TCF Conqueror is actually taken care of. That said, we do need to take out the Fire Swarms, which I said I could use Flyby for, but I could just use Throwing Knives, and then I don't need to use Flyby. I could use Flyby on something else, or I could not use Flyby. As fun as Flyby is, I would rather keep it? I don't know. I would rather play it just to return it to my hand so I can keep it, but that's probably not a good strategy. But Throwing Knives, I think, does what I want. So I don't need to hit the TCF Conqueror, but I do want to hit the Fire Swarms because they cannot be taken out by Lance Flammies. And I do need to wail on the TCF Stalwart. Because, like, I don't really... I could just use Flyby. Actually, if I do Flyby, I can do the 2 damage to the Conqueror myself, do more damage to the Stalwart, and then Stuntman could do damage to the Stalwart too. So I'm gonna Flyby after all. And... I might as well take out the Shock Infantry, because then Pistolet Mutileur will actually damage Voss. I am going to play a card. I'm going to put out the Microfabricator, because at the end of my turn I could play a Hardware, and I could therefore play the Flash Installation Drive, which will play cards for free. Microfabricator plays a hardware for free. Flash Installation Drive plays a software for free. So we're starting to get an automated benchmark. And I could actually discard a software that I want to enter play. Like the Intervening Path Calculator. Although that's redundant with Stun Bolt, really. But it's not really, because Stun Bolt, or not Stun Bolt, Smoke Bombs only works on villain damage, but this works on any damage, which might help. In fact, it could potentially help with, like, Skyscraper rampaging or something. Yeah, I'll discard it. Stuntman, draw a card. No time to bleed. And then Pistolet Mutileur. Take out the minions. And then the rest of this doesn't matter. We have damaged Grand Warlord Voss. Alright, then Steal the Scene. Yeah. And then I shall draw Intel Analyzer, and then I shall draw a card, and then I shall play a hardware card, and then I could discard a card, because this could actually put into play anyway. Countermeasures is fun. Whenever benchmark would be dealt damage by a non-hero target with 2 or fewer HP, destroy that target instead. Which could actually take out minions. If it's set up right. So I actually think I do want that in play, just in case. And, oh, by the way, it is Skyscraper's turn. The first thing I shall do is have Stuntman do something. Alright, and then Lance Flemmies. So TCF Conqueror is now gone. Stalwart damage. And I actually want to keep the Celestial Executioner because he's damaging Voss right now. So I'm going to do that. I could undetectable relinking the Compulsion Canister back, and then what? Do that, have the Stalwart hit itself for 2. Skyscraper deals it 2 irreducible, puts it down to 5. I don't know that we can really get something that amazing off. Well, I guess I have nothing better to do. I could put the Micro Assembler back, but I want to leave that on Wraith, because she still needs stuff. Actually, I could take the Micro Assembler back, play Compulsion Canister, and then play Undetectable Relinking to play Compulsion Canister again. That would be funny, but I'm not going to do that because I don't know why. I mean, it could be funny. Because it would put it down to 5, and then I would do it 2 damage here anyway. But no, I'm not going to do that. Hey, Citizen! This music keeps reminding you of Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Hill, and I thought you were talking about the Benny Hill theme. And I'm just imagining, like, putting the Compulsion Canister on TCF Stalwart, put to the theme of Benny Hill. Okay. Damage! Uh-oh. Called to Judgment. Pulls out the representative of the Earth. So here's what's going on here. When this card enters play, search the environment trash and deck for representative of Earth and put it into play. One hero may use the power on the hero character card in this play area now, then shuffle this card and the environment trash into the environment deck. Representative of the Earth, when this card enters play, choose a hero character card from this box and put it into play next to this card, set its max HP to 10. If that hero is incapacitated, the Earth is sentenced to destruction, game over. If this card leaves play, put that hero back in the box. So, Space Dad. Yeah, so we have a lot of choices here. We have lots of things. Lots of possibilities. Now, some of these aren't necessarily, like, great. Like, let's put Argent Adept into play and then activate a Perform text. But there was none. Let's put Absolute Zero into play to deal yourself either 1 cold or 1 fire damage. Or... what's another... I guess destroy an equipment card to put a mechanical golem into play, but I guess there could be a reason to destroy an equipment card. So one thing that I do love, though, and this is one I might have done in the past, Termination Bunker with Stuntman. Stuntman destroys one of his ongoing or equipment cards, which has counter effects. Afterwards, draw a card, play a card, and use a power in any order. Yo, Doc, I heard you like Stuntman, so I had Stuntman destroy a thing so he could do a thing while he just does a thing. Unfortunately, we don't really have reactions other than stylish armor. Although it is like, yeah, when this card is destroyed, you may play a card or use a power. You may search your deck for an equipment card, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and then play a card to use a power. Yeah, so that's a free equipment card. You could play something. You could play another stylish armor with your play. But we could actually get rid of the TCF Stalwart if we get a card So there is a little bit of a dilemma in that I want to use Lance Flammies, which means I need the TCF Stalwart to be down to 2 afterwards, and he's down to 5. And I don't have a damaging one-shot here. But what I could do is Darkwatch Mr. Fixer, deal 3 oh shoot, no it's not, it's melee. Shoots! Because I was thinking to deal 3 damage and then destroy an equipment card and then use a power, but melee damage. Fixer, why? Actually, Visionary Unleashed. Deal damage based on the number of ongoing cards in play +1, because we have 3 here for benchmark, but that's gonna do 4 damage, which is 1. Can't Stylish Armor replace itself in addition to the power or card play? No, because it says when this card is destroyed, blah blah blah, then you may play a card. So this card is technically still in play, but it's limited, so you cannot play another Stylish Armor. That is different than Knife's thing, which actually was rewarded because you couldn't put it back into play, but currently this card says when this card is destroyed instead of after this card is destroyed, so it's technically still in play during its destruction. Yeah, so ooh, we could do Extreme Prime Warden's Tempest to just stop the TCF Stalwart from revealing minion cards, and then most of the reason that we want it to not be in play is gone. I'm just trying to think what would be the most effective. Do 3 irreducible projectile damage. Like there's lots of possibilities. Actually, we could do Prime Warden's Fanatic. Play the top card of your deck. 1 hero may use a power. So what are the chances of us getting a damaging thing through that way? I guess, well, we could, if worst comes to worst, we could use Ally Matrix. But that's still bouncing a power around. That's not really, yeah, that's not gonna do it. We could just have Stuntman deal himself damage, and actually that would put him lower, so we could do Smoke Bomb shenanigans. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do Prime Warden's Fanatic. And we'll have Stuntman do this. At a start of a hero turn other than yours. And then we could have Prime Warden's Fanatic use their power, deal herself 3 radiant damage, play the top card of your non-existent deck, and then a hero uses the power. That seems like a waste. Yeah, Lance Flammies isn't gonna destroy TCF Stalwart. I really want to, but I can't. Which bothers me. I could moving target. Actually, I could moving target. And then I would be able to use a power outside of my turn. And then I would do 1 extra point of damage Yeah. Alright, that will work. I can do it after all! So smoke bombs will redirect it. Because now that Fnatic is in play, she will be hit by the CC of Stalwart, so it is kind of important that... Oh no, shoot! No! Well, I guess this is okay. But Fnatic! You're not supposed to be the lowest HP hero. You're supposed to be the one who saved us, not brought us worse into this thing. Ugh. Yeah. And now the Celestial Executioner is going after Fanatics. We're taking him out too. But we've gotten rid of the ship. Oh good, a forced deployment. Redirect that to benchmark, please. And Field Lieutenant Tamar. Ugh. Well, I might as well put No Time to Bleed out. When this card is destroyed, draw a card and use a power. So this can potentially work. Yeah, so Forced Deployment is back, of course, because this is Advanced Voss. He actually hasn't played too many minutes. I mean, like, he put out another Firesworn. That's, like, all he's done. So that's not a bad time for Forced Deployment. I just want to try to make sure I can take them out when they come back. But yeah, I'll do this. And then I'll set up for the damage increase. We'll try to use Lance Flemmies. Planquez-vous. So, when this card is destroyed, you may use a power. When a hero's target will be dealt 4 or more damage, you may destroy this card to prevent that damage, which currently isn't happening. Stuntman needs cards. I could do base power again and then destroy Planquez-vous some other way. Yeah, Tamar is... Yeah, with Tamar in play, we're going to have a -1, but if Stuntman can use a power, he could still use Lance Flemmies to take things out, because I gave him the +1. That's really all I'm worried about, is taking out the 4 minions that I can with Stuntman. Because really, like I said, we haven't had the worst minions out. This has been a really fortunate game. And actually, I do have a +1, so I could do 2 damage and use a power. And then I could use Lance Flemmies, but then I wouldn't. Although I guess No Time to Bleed would also let me use a power. But no, Voss, tomorrow would be down to 3 after that, so he wouldn't be destroyed. So I'm gonna say no, or no, yeah, because I'm doing the... At times. I can destroy Tamar easily with Steal the Scene. That's the thing. For heaven's sake, I keep forgetting the change. It's only been going on actually it's been going on for like 6 months now. 6 months? I don't think it was 6 months. I did it in the middle of the spring because I was waking up early and 7 was actually pretty late for me. I could move it back to 7, but of course when I move it back to 7, you'll forget the change again. Yes, we're gonna do this. So I don't think I have a good means of doing this out of turn at this point. I mean, we still have Extreme Primord's Fanatic. And now I'm gonna throat jab Voss. And then I'm gonna discard, nope, not that one. I'm gonna discard Utility Belt because I already have it in play. And we'll put out the micro-targeting. So now that I throat jabbed Voss, I'm gonna stun bolt him. So I probably shouldn't have throat jabbed Voss, because he's not doing too much damage. We have the Razor Ordnance, beautiful. 3 softwares. I think I'm actually just going to use benchmark space power this time. We haven't done it since the first round because we've been doing ally matrix shenanigans, but we're going to do that. And we have 4 hardwares, so I could put one into place, or put a software into place safely. I'm going to put out the micro-targeting protocol, because now that I have the micro-targeting computer, I need to complement it with the oh, sorry, it's auto-targeting protocol. I thought it said micro. My bad, I can't read. And we get, ooh, 3 cards, none of which were a hardware. But we can return cards to hand, which doesn't really serve much of a purpose, but we can reorder if we need to. Oops. So probably the first things to consider are the hardwares, and this doesn't matter the order. I think we want discards up front in case we get the, well, I guess it doesn't matter right now, but discards up front. Yeah, especially with the flash installation drive. That was already in the right order, but that is the order that we want it. I'll just put that there. Not there. So basically I didn't really need to do that, but hey. And then reactionary things, which is countermeasures. And that's the only reactionary thing, because we have powers. So I'll just put those back out, I think. In fact, I think, yeah, because we have, what, one more? Yeah. So everything's back out, but just reordered. We have another flyby. And we have this. Actually, is this... Oh, I didn't have a hardware in my hand, so that's why I drew a card. I probably should have put the upgraded memory unit before microfabricator, just in case we had that. And just in case we drew a hardware from that, but we didn't. We couldn't draw for it anyway, so that's fine. Then I could play a software, but we have 4 in play, so I'm not. Flyby is in the trash. And I'm not gonna do this. Neutralizing Resonator is dangerous right now because it could discard a minion, but it's not too bad if it plays a minion. I'm just gonna Compulsion Canister. And I could do an extra point of damage if I put this on Stuntman. But that's not necessarily wise. Oh no, never mind. We have throat jab. We have throat jab going on. Okay. Yeah, let's put this on Stuntman so we can actually deal damage to Voss. I actually want Stuntman to be lower, although we don't have moving target anymore. Oh yeah, and that reduces that. I'm just gonna keep going back to normal. There are no villain targets next to a trial. Not next to a trial. There are villain targets next to a trial. All right, so the Firesworns, the Shock Infantry, the Gene-Bound Soldier, Gene-Bound Soldier, Gene-Bound Psyweaver, and that's it. Oh, nope, there's a guard. Hello, guard. And then the Frosthound. All right, so now it's getting a little dangerous. I want benchmark to be highest. I don't think it's gonna matter too much though. I mean, like this redirects, but then this doesn't redirect. Oh, but then that did go off. Hey! Oh, hey, order of operations, dude, order of operations. I forgot about that interaction. Actually, I just more forgot that I had countermeasures. So what just happened is that Stuntman retaliated on the Psyweaver, which is happening here, and deals at 1 point of damage. So then it tries to deal damage to Benchmark, but because Benchmark has countermeasures that says whenever Benchmark would be dealt damage by a non-hero target with 2 or fewer HP, destroy that target instead. That destroys the Psyweaver and stops it from doing its remaining damage. And I can actually do the exact same trick with this one. This will put Stuntman at lowest. And then countermeasure stops it. Yay! Now we're thinking with portals. But I don't have cards. And we have a Gene-Bound guard. Well, Lance Flammies plus throwing knives will take care of Gene-Bound guard, so that's a good news. Wraith unfortunately cannot hit the soldiers. And Stuntman cannot hit the Firesworns. There's a weird dichotomy we have here. I'm just gonna put out Flank View because I have to. It's a card. But yeah, so this does 2 damage, -1. And I can hit this. And then I might as well hit this. And I might as well hit this, because I forgot this does 4. And now we don't have cards for you to play. Okay, so Razor Ordnance. And I think, let's start with the throwing knives, because I'm definitely doing that. Can't hit you. So I could Razor Ordnance the Firesworn, and then Flyby would take care of the soldiers. I'm just gonna do that. It's the easiest option. And then Flyby. Okay. So now let's put out the subcutaneous cybernetics, or do I even need to do that? I don't need to play it because it doesn't trigger anything until the end of my turn. Yeah, so I'm just gonna not do that. I'm gonna keep Flyby in my hand. I like that it gives you the text that says flyby was returned to your hand. In case you forgot between when you selected I want to return it to my hand and otherwise. We get a software and we get a hardware. I'm gonna put out the subcutaneous thing. And then I could discard a card to maybe put it into play, but I don't need those. And I don't need those. And I don't need those. Alright, so now Benchmark has a lot of things going for him that's going to keep him alive. We have the reinforced chassis for damage reduction, the upgraded memory unit that increases HP recovery by 1, and now the subcutaneous cybernetics. At the end of his turn, he regains 1 HP increased by 1, and the first time he's dealt damage each turn, he may discard a card to regain 1 HP plus 1. So, Benchmark is basically invincible. I've been staring at this neutralizing resonator all game, so I'm gonna just put it out there. Because then you have it. It discarded the Genebound Banshee. I was hoping for it to discard Forced Deployment, although, you know what? I could have it discard a Forced Deployment if I have Wraith set up for it. Although that's not a guarantee that we can even do that because he plays 2 cards, so I'm not gonna bother with that. Proportionist is here, yes! Now lots of things happen when she switches sizes. Paragon of Sentence. Paragon of Sentence! Play this card next to a hero character card, not next to a trial. If there are no valid targets, discard this card. If the target next to this card leaves play, destroy this card. When this card is destroyed, play the top card of the environment deck. Put that on Benchmark, because he could take it. Genebound Frosthound. Discard a card in order to regain 2 hit points and undo that? Sure, why not? In the Genebound Shock Infantry. I could do the same trick that I did before. This would require me to hit Fnatic, so that Stuntman's not the lowest. And then hit Benchmark, and then Frosthound's destroyed. So that at least stopped some damage. Oh boy, you need cards, Stuntman. Should you just skip so you can draw 2? Because Wraith can take care of the Shock Infantry. Yeah, we're just gonna skip. Kut. And no time to bleed. There is at least 1 new card. Mega Computer. Thing is, the environment actually doesn't do much damage in this game. Like, I mean, it can. I mean, this is where the damage happens from the Celestial Executioner. He's the one that does damage. But he does it at the start of the environment turn, so we can prepare for it. So I don't need the Mega Computer. I'm just gonna suit yourself. Guys is apparently the best writer then with all the best sentences. He's the Paragon of Sentence. All right, I think we're getting under control. He got a little like weird with both of the ships out, but now we have a plan and we're executing the plan and everything's going according to plan. Whenever Benchmark uses a power, you may discard a card. If you do, Benchmark deals 1 target 1 projectile damage, which if he uses his base power, you know, or actually if he uses the multi-point HUD, that would increase it by 1. I don't know that it's necessarily worth it. Rubber Rats just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you for the subscription, Rubber Rats. I know I'm not Handelabra Games directly, but I do benefit from subscriptions because I do stream on this channel. Surprise. Yeah, we'll just, like, I could play it automatically, but I'm just gonna play it. Because then you have it. What I would really like to have is the Inferno Missile Pod, which is my favorite card because it says Inferno Missile Pod. Coming at ya, yeah, way better than that new standard crap. What do I want to do? We'll do base power. Because I don't have enough HP. Hey, look! It's the Inferno Missile Pod. And we'll discard a card from hand to put it underneath. Yeah, we might as well just use this. Intel Analyzer. Draw a card. That's a hardware. Cool. I could use an additional power during my power phase. The first time software enters play, big deal. Yeah. Cool. And then, yeah. And then draw a card. And then discard a card. And then put a card into play from my trash. Which... there are many hardwares in play, so we might as well. If I put something into play, let's put this into play, because that sounds exciting. Destroy things. Yes, increase damage dealt this turn by 1. Now the Inferno Missile Pod does a lot. Destroy a card. Nope. I could, but I won't. I shan't. I'm just gonna explosive reveal, I think. 2 and 2 damage. Because we have the compulsion canister that's not doing anything right now, so... I mean, I could go Linking Incursion, go Tiny, but I'll just do that. Because I could then move the compulsion canister from my trash into play, and then I can Colossal Left Hook to deal damage. And then I could discard a card to play a card. So I'll discard the compulsion canister that I just got back to go Linking Incursion. So I switch sides so I can go Tiny and then put 2 links into play, like the micro assembler. Because Stuntman has all his equipments, doesn't he? The Hidden Mine is not one that he has yet. But let's actually, what equipments don't you have yet? The Legion Core Processor. In fact, this will synergize with the Inferno Missile Pod, so I'm gonna put this on Benchmark. I could also put it on Prime Warden's Fanatic. That seems silly. And that might as well go on Voss. And then the Paragon of Sentence. I'm just gonna put that on Wraith. The Quark Drive Translocator, which could actually trigger right now. Oh look, that was 0 damage. Oh look, that was 0 damage. Yep, it's triggering. Genebound Guard. Ugh, no! This destroys all my best laid plans. Because the problem with this is now I can't have Stuntman retaliate and Benchmark insta-destroy. So I might as well just use Smoke Bombs because I can't stop this. Oh, I can discard a card? Discard the Intel Analyzer. Do I want to put it beneath Inferno Missile Pod? Yes, I can. How do I? Tell me how I do. How do I do? Because No Time to Bleed deals 1 damage, but we didn't do the damage boost. We don't have the thing, so... Yes. No, the issue isn't that I can't get Stuntman to be dealt damage. I can get Stuntman to be dealt damage. The problem is he would deal 1 projectile damage, but the Genebound Guard is reducing it by 1, so he would do 0 damage to the Sideweaver. So I didn't get the +1 that turn, because I skipped. Coot. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, this will do more damage to the Translocator. This will do 0 damage to Voss. So we'll stop. And now we have the usual solution, which can destroy things. Yay! And I guess I'll just put that out. And then things. In fact, we can destroy the Quark Drive like right now. But I could also do a lot of damage to Voss. So the question is this worth... Yeah, we'll just damage Voss. Because why take out the Translocator when I could probably take out Voss, maybe, this round? This round? What? What? Alright. Flyby. And then play a card like Flyby. And then play a card like Onboard Cooling Systems. So now I can use an additional power, and when a software enters play, I can deal 2 targets 2 cold damage each. And the first thing I'm going to do is increase damage dealt by benchmark this turn by 1. And because I used a power, I can discard a card to deal damage, put it beneath Inferno Missile Pod to do 2 damage there. And then deal myself 1 energy damage. Deal Voss 5. Draw a card. And then I could draw a card. And then I can discard a card. Do I want to put it beneath Inferno Missile Pod? Like, I'm just imagining like Dr. Evil, who's like, you can go beneath my Inferno Missile Pod. All I wanted were frickin' missile pods with frickin' infernos attached to their heads. And then I can put a software card into play. Oops, I can deal 2 targets 2 cold damage each, increased by 1. And then I destroy these cards. And then I deal Voss 6 damage. So it's not that much damage, but it is something. I could destroy something, actually, and when this card is destroyed, you may use a power. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Deal 1 target 2 melee, destroy an ongoing equipment or environment card, deal up to 3 targets 1 fire each. So I'm going to increase damage dealt by Stuntman by 1, and then I'm going to play the usual solution. Oh boy, we're getting into it now. Then I'm going to destroy a Stuntman card. We're going to destroy... Which one was it? Somewhere in this list. I guess Stylish Armor would work. That wasn't the one I was thinking of, though. No Time to Bleed, but draw a card and use a power, or play a card or use a power. but he doesn't have a card play, does he? I mean, he has stylish armor in hand. He can get, ooh, he can get the thing. Yeah, we'll get the thing. Stylish armor was destroyed, so we can get the hidden mine in play. And then I can deal up to 3 targets 1 fire damage each. And Stuntman needs to be dealt damage by a non-hero target for Hidden Mine to work. You can destroy it, so that would okay. But first, oh right, I destroyed neutralized turns in there. I'm gonna do Tectonic Choke Slam as Proportionist, and then this, and then that, and then we can redirect those for no reason. Actually, I had Colossal Left Hook. I should have played Colossal Left Hook. I didn't realize I had Colossal Left Hook. We will play Colossal Left Hook. Proportionist does that. I do this. I discard something. I play Tectonic Chokeslam. I deal 4 damage. And then you're still at 1. So it's not amazing. But now I'm huge, and I can destroy any environment card, like the representative of Earth. And take out Voss. We have damaged Grand Warlord Voss! So, that was fun. I find games against Voss fun, for some reason. He's a difficulty 3, but he's not that hard. I mean, if he gets a lot of minions out, he turns hard, but we managed to mitigate a lot of the bad things, and we managed to manipulate Stuntman and Benchmark and get lots of amazing things. So that is the loot choice. And Voss is defeated, so we're going to mark that on this list. So the remaining... I'll actually go ahead and type this in chat like I should have last week. Who wants to participate in Viewer's Choice? Now, the remaining villains that we have to fight, well, just to be clear, Akash Puto we have not tried. Base Baron Blade we have not tried. Choke Point we tried once and failed miserably. Cosmic Omnitron we have not tried yet. Heroic Infinitor has not been attempted. Or no, we did attempt once and we failed miserably. Base Infinitor has not been attempted. Cargo Warfang has not. Kismet has not. Capitan has been attempted and failed miserably. Plague Rat has not. Progeny has not. Chairman, I think, was and we failed. Dreamer was. And then I did a dumb. Ennead has not. Where is it? Trickster Kismet has not. Although this is only advanced because she does not have the challenge rule yet. And Wager Master has not. And that's the classic villains. The ones that are Vengeance are Ambuscade, Baron Blade, Biomancer, Bugbear, Citizens, Hammer and Anvil. This is alphabetized in the same way that this game is, so that's why it's off. Friction, La Capitan, Misinformation, Plague Rat, and Proletariat. And some of those have been attempted. Alright, so now to get back to the questions. Who wants to participate? Hankroid, Seamus, Citizen, and JZC. It is a bit of a quiet night, but that's okay. Because my usual group is here, so they know how I operate. There's no way you're going to remember all this, so be sure to pick somebody else to play the villain. Ho 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 ho! Hankroid. Classic or team? And so you don't have to worry if you give me a villain that you don't remember if I fought or not. I'll just veto it and give you a second chance. Oh yeah, I could also just give you this, yeah. I could share this link, and that would be smart. How do I... oh yeah, there's a share button right here. Anyone with the link can view. So that has it. You have to go to the Defeated Ultimates tab, and you can just see. There's an all one-shots tab. That should not be called all one-shots, but that means the games that I fought. That should be retitled. I didn't even notice that. I copied this from the Handelabra, or it's not the Handelabra stream. It's just all one-shots. So let's see. Hankroyd said classic. So then the next question is Seamus, choose the villain. And then Citizen 3, 4, or 5 heroes. And then JCC, choose hero number 1. Hankroyd, choose hero number 2. Seamus, choose hero number 3. Then I wait a bit to see what the number is. You say 4, so then Citizen, choose hero number 4. Hello, Walking Target. Been a while since you caught one of these. Viewer choice no longer a free-for-all vote. We changed it several months ago to be more of a you raise your hand if you want to participate, and then I just ask people questions one by one. Makes it a little easier, a little more streamlined, and then people are less like racing to type things down when I say choose hero number 2 or whatever. And it just seems it's easier for people to control what will be the game at that point. So then JZC, choose the environment. All right. So then Citizen, or where are we at? 4 heroes. Grandpa Legacy for number 2. Oh, and we also got Cosmotron. So I thank you for that. This will be fun. And then what was after that? Grandpa Legacy was the one. So it's hero 2. Hero 3 is Super Scientific Tachyon, who's going to experiment on Omnitron, of course. Hero number 4, Benchmark, because there's never too much of a new standard. Dark Visionary, that's not there. Visionary. Dark Visionary. And then Omnitron 4 for the environment. And we're playing Ultimate because it's the Summer of Ultimates. So the viewer's choice game, thank you very much, is Cosmic Omnitron versus Dark Visionary, Grandpa Legacy, Super Scientific Tachyon, and Benchmark in Omnitron 4. This cannot go wrong. Power source unknown. Directive destroy. Hello, dearies. Let's go be heroes and save the multiverse. All right. So, Dark Visionary has Mind Spike, Psychic Maelstrom, Telekinetic Cocoon, and Twist the Ether. America's Greatest Legacy is Bolster Allies, Inspiring Presence, Lead from the Front, and Motivational Charge. Super Scientific Tachyon has Quick Insight, Research Grant, and 2 Sucker Punches. And Benchmark has Ally Matrix, Flyby, Multi-Point HUD, and Secondary Cannon. So, here is why Cosmic Omnitron is a delight. Advanced, reduce damage dealt to devices by 1. On the backside, increase damage dealt by devices by 1. And the challenge rule, Cosmic Overdrive. The value of H is doubled in this game. So, at the start of the game, cards are revealed from the top of the villain deck until 6 components are revealed and put into play, because H times 2 is 6. On the backside, Omnitron deals the 6 hero targets with the highest HP 7 energy damage each. And did I mention that I think there's only 6 components? So they're all coming into play. So we're gonna have 2 Disintegration Rays. At the start of the villain turn, Omnitron deals 9 energy damage to the hero target with the highest HP twice. And then 2 of these. Omnitron deals the 2 hero targets with the highest HP 7 projectile damage each. And the Interpolation Beam, yes. Now I'm just imagining like the Interpolation Bleep. Every time a beep draws a hero card, Omnitron beeps their hero. Every time a player draws a hero card, Omnitron deals the hero 1 energy damage. Those are all coming into play in some order. And because H is doubled, that means that wherever there's H elsewhere, is affected. So for instance, Sedative Flechettes, Omnitron deals each hero target 9 projectile damage. That is not a small number of damage. That is a huge amount of damage. Yeah. And the S-84 Automaton Drone, the maximum HP of this card is 8. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP X energy damage, where X equals the current HP of this card. And wherever there's H elsewhere in the game, it's also affected. For instance, at the end of the environment turn, each player may discard any number of cards. If at least 10 cards are discarded this way, destroy this card. Jesus. At the start of the environment turn, this card regains 8 HP. Oh my gosh. I don't think we have any other cards that have H's on them, but I'm probably wrong. Sometimes hero decks have H's, but it's a little less frequent. I don't think there is. I have a feeling that everyone hit with the beam is probably saying a bleep in their native language. Alright, here we go. Disintegration Ray. Surprise. Interpolation Beam. Oh no! The Interpolation Beam. Oh no! Electromagnetic Railgun. Oh, that's okay. That's not too bad. The Disintegration Ray. What? You're still playing cards? Electromagnetic Railgun! 9 damage, and then 7 damage twice, and then 9 damage, and then for some change, we're into 7 damage. And then Sedative Flechettes comes out, dealing 9 damage to all targets. And then he's going to play an Automaton Drone that deals 8 damage to Tachyon. Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh my gosh. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna telekinetic cocoon. We're just gonna stay here. Oh my gosh. This is crazy pants. We're gonna Inspiring Presence for the hit points. And then we're going to have Tachyon experiment on herself. I survived the opening round. Oh, that discards a thingy. Ugh. If I quick insight, I die. If I play Research Grant and I use Research Grant, I die. Actually, it's fortunate that there isn't a hero target with 2 or fewer HP. And oh boy, Fleet of Foot, so that everyone dies. Oh my gosh! All right, I'm gonna do Fleet of Foot first, and Tachyon will draw a card because we're dying anyway. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna play Synaptic Interruption. And then Sucker Punch kills me. Oh my gosh, this is awful. I could Hypersonic Assault something, and then we can destroy all the components. That's the new plan. That's the new standard. I'm gonna Flyby. And then I could use Ally Matrix, or I could... Nope, drawing a card is bad. Use Ally Matrix. I just want Tachyon to get a Hypersonic Assault. Although that will keep the components in play. Don't draw a card though. And now you're gonna reveal a Sucker Punch. Nope. Alright. No. Oh boy, that takes out Tachyon. There goes my plan to redirect things, so I might as well do this. It's okay, Visionary can survive. That's why I did this. There goes Benchmark. The Repair Drone. The Electro Pulse Explosive! That's... If only I had another one of those things, then the Electro Pulse Explosive could be amazing, but I don't. And I'm not gonna destroy that, even though I know that I can't win in the Cocoon, because I don't want to do anything. Or why am I saying no? I'm not... Ugh. Draw a card. At least the EPE is not 30 HP. Motivational charge. I don't think this is not gonna do anything, but whatever. I'm biding my time until a sedative Flechettes comes out. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh, hey, Sucker Punch, which actually isn't gonna kill me, so okay. And then I can Blinding Speed something, like the Techno Pursuer who's gonna kill Tachyon. Alright, benchmarks, play a card, use a power, draw a card. So we're gonna have Tachyon use a power, because that's really the only thing. I guess we could have had Legacy do it on Tachyon, but... Alright, so 1 damage. And then 1 damage. At least Visionary survives. For surezies. Well, not necessarily for surezies. Resource Recycler gives me the Techno Pursuer again. And we say bye to one of these guys, but that's okay because the other one will perish shortly. Oh my gosh. I can't take a game against Cosmic Omnitron seriously. Challenge Cosmic Omnitron. It just feels unfair. Like, I remember reading somewhere, someone saying it would make more sense for this challenge rule to be on base Omnitron, and for the other Omnitron's challenge rule to be on this one. The one on base Omnitron is when Omnitron is dealt 7 damage at once, destroy only 1 component card. Like, it seems like it would make a little more sense on this Omnitron, because he starts with components in play, and he flips if there are none in play. And then having the normal H-doubler. I do not have another Cocoon, so no. You can't make me. Did I just say no again to drawing a card? Am I dumb? It's okay, Visionary is gonna win. Use a power, draw a card, discard the top card of a deck. Hey, we could probably discard the other sedative Flechettes, and then we can keep Visionary alive for longer. But what's more likely is I'm gonna discard it and then They play it anyway. Destroy an ongoing card, play a card, put the bottom card of a deck on the top of that deck. I have no information on what is where, so I'm just going to destroy an ongoing card. Just the interpolation beams, because reasons. Internal defense grid. See, the problem is this environment does not hit the villains. It'd be nicer if we were in like Silver Gulch, because then they would be hitting the drones. But we're not in Silver Gulch. We're in Omnitron 4. At least we've lasted longer than most games against Cosmic Omnitron tend to last, so we have that going for me, which is nice. There's a cocoon. So now what can happen is that I could play a cocoon with benchmark, which means I can destroy the cocoon on Visionary's turn and do things on her turn, do things on Legacy's turn, do things on Tachyon's turn, and then have benchmark have her play the cocoon. Omnitron X is a good idea, but yeah, like you can have the components in the environment count as components in play to stop Omnitron from chaining drones, but currently I'm at a loss because I cannot deal with all of these devices. I can just keep destroying these, so I can at least make some progress. Destroy an equipment card, but thankfully Visionary does not have equipment cards. And the Mechanic Accumulator destroys components, so we can start getting rid of these. So really it's just a matter of time until he plays Sedative Flechettes. And he does have the Terraformings, which is going to play 4 cards, so that's also not good. But here's what I can do. Destroy this. And then I could put Twist the Ether on myself. And then reveal top 2 cards. Let's do it on Omnitron. There's a Terraforming. We want to avoid that by all means. Another Twist the Ether. So I kind of want 2 Twist the Ethers. 2 Twist the Ethers and then Psychic Maelstroms. Or I could just do 2 Psychic Maelstroms. Well, we'll just do double twist. Oh no, I can't play it. Okay, yeah, this is actually not too useful because I could control a deck or I could draw a card. I'll just draw a card. Eventually we're going to get Visionary to cycle through her deck and then she can do whatever she wants. Play a card though. Yeah, double twist. Play Demoralization. Yeah, I guess that would be smart actually. Automatic damage dealing. Actually, we don't have Rest the Mind. If we had Rest the Mind, we could actually utilize the Electropulse explosives. They could clear the board for us, actually. But we don't have that, so. We could also just have them, like, entirely wipe out Omnitron. I really should have been destroying the Disintegration Rays instead of the Electromagnetic Railgun. Not that it matters, but technically it's less damage to Visionary. Techno Pursuer is doing 10 damage. Jeez. Oh, I guess, yeah, without... Yeah, I can't actually redirect it, because it's only hitting Visionary. Alright, there's the Technological Singularity. And then here's the automatic damage dealing, but only to villains. And we'll increase all of these. So it gets reduced by 1. I guess the one I would want... I can't actually... If Visionary's immune to damage, I can't redirect damage. I do not have mental divergence to get telekinetic cocoon back, so I can't do that. There's rest of mind, but I can't use it. All right, Omnitron's flipping. He's flipping. Oh man, they're regaining HP. No, no. All right, what's your move? What's your move? You have a terraforming on the bottom of your deck. You have another terraforming. You have another sedative flechettes. Adaptive plating subroutine. We live for one more round. His advanced is increased damage dealt by devices by 1. Right? Yeah. But there's no more damage reduction. Oh. Plus, with Twist to Ether, I don't care about the adaptive plating subroutine. Still can't bring it back from my trash. So it would be very dangerous to try to do anything. But currently there's a 50-50 chance he plays sedative flechettes and ends the game. Actually, it's even worse than that. If he plays terraforming, he's definitely playing sedative flechettes because there's 5 environment cards. So it's more like a 67% chance. His terminal card is either Adaptive Plating Subroutine, Sedative Flechettes, or Terraforming. We put 1 Terraforming on the bottom of his deck, but the other Terraforming is around, and if it comes into play and it destroys 5 environment cards, then he's playing the rest of his deck. So he's gonna play Sedative Flechettes. So now is not the time to gamble. Like, this is a 33% chance that this game lasts one more round. So I think I need to get out of this. And so I think There's a variety of things I could try to do. Twist the ether. No, this is the same situation as before because I can't. I mean, I really can't do anything regardless. I'm just gonna double Psychic Maelstrom. So at least I can fulfill my damage itch. And let's try to not play Sedative Flechettes, I guess, but okay, cool. There's a drone. Exciting. There's Mental Divergence, but I can't really get to it. Although I guess, well, because it doesn't matter if, like, because Omnitron's dealing 9 damage. No, he's doing 7 damage, increased by 1. I mean, the Eternal Defense Grid is doing damage, so it's... yeah. I could discard the top card of Omnitron's deck just so he doesn't play the drone. Yeah. It doesn't matter though. Play a card. Like there's no... oh, I could suggest. And then he doesn't do that. Oh, but these Electropulse explosives are gonna kill me. Ay, caramba. I can at least wipe the board, which makes me feel good. You are immune to what? Radiant. Oh, but I do have Rest of Mind. All right. Here we go. Drone cards are immune to melee damage. Oh, he flipped because there was a component in play, right? Oh, now I can't take you out. No. No, that's not good. This visionary dies. Or no, I guess this helps. But no, I think, I don't like this. Because he's gonna play, he's playing 2 cards. Adaptive Plating Subroutine and Terraforming, which plays 2 cards. Terraforming is the bottom card of his deck, which means he's playing Sedative Flechettes. Oh well. Twist the Ether was destroyed. Oh my gosh. At least we managed to get rid of most of those targets. That was really the fun part. You know, you might like watching me struggle against awful games. Doesn't feel too good on my end. Which, remember when I said that I wanted to challenge my chat to the same game that I played so that you too could suffer in the agony? Yeah, the game did last a lot longer than I expected. But that was mostly because we had telekinetic cocoon for 6 rounds. It could have maybe worked, but it was probably not going to work. It was doubtful. I'm just gonna call it because that was... I need to take a shower after that fight. That was... So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stream. I enjoy doing this for you. I enjoy being able to do this every week and being able to share some tactics, especially as the mainstream seems to be focusing more on their own Handelabra content and a little less on, you know, the strategy. They used to like discuss strategy a lot, which evolved more into a Jeremy and John show, which is fine, but I play Sentinels for the strategy and I love being able to have that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and the support you give me is amazing and makes me want to come back every week, even though you give me awful games like Cosmic Omnitron and Omnitron 4. I will be gone 2 weeks from now, so not next week. Next week's stream is still happening. The stream 2 weeks from now is canceled, and then the stream 3 weeks from now will still continue. And for now, it will continue being Friday at 6 p.m. So don't worry about a time change in the near future. If you enjoy Sentinels content and you just tuned into this channel, be sure to give this channel a follow because we stream Sentinels content regularly throughout the week. Sentinels Live every Tuesday with Jeremy and John, DolphinsDive every Friday with yours truly, and Tales from the Archive every Sunday with another letdown. And Tales from the Archive involves more storytelling Sentinels, in case you enjoy hearing a little more about the lore of the game, or more fan-made lore, or at least something relating to lore at the very least, as opposed to me, who focuses more on card interactions and techniques and strategies and ways to try to manipulate Stuntman to doing more things out of turn and destroying minions before they even try to deal damage and all that sort of stuff. If you don't know what Sentinels of the Multiverse is, it's a cooperative tabletop hero-themed card game. And it is a card game first and foremost, meaning that it's physical. And you can get the physical game through Greater Than Games or maybe your local board game dealer. But it's also available digitally, and in fact, all of the expansions that were released physically prior to this current expansion is out now, finally, with Mini-Pack 4's release. That said, Oblivion content is not out yet. That was recently, present tense, being fulfilled to the Kickstarter backers. And I don't know that that's necessarily out yet in board games, but those expansions are not in the digital game yet. But nonetheless, everything else is. You can get the game digitally through Steam and iOS and Android devices. And the base game is pretty cheap. The expansions do add up in price, but trust me, it is worth it, especially if you love heavy, intense strategy games. Or if you just like hero games, this is especially great for feeling like a superhero versus villain game, because every single game feels epic. Like, you can really imagine the storytelling involved in these games if you think about what they would look like in a comic book. But that's it for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next week for some more Ultimate Shenanigans. Bye, guys!